Hello everyone, and welcome back to Audio Mind Lab channel, where learning English is easy and fun. I'm Sarah. Before we begin, wear your earphones. Do not read subtitles, just relax and listen to the conversation. Mark, I was thinking today, our lives are so busy with work. Do you actually have time for any hobbies lately?
Hobbies? Honestly, Sarah, my hobby used to be sleeping, but I realize that's not really a hobby, is it? That's just survival.
Exactly. A hobby is something you do because you love it, not because you have to. I started gardening last month, just small plants on my balcony.
Gardening? That's interesting. I thought you lived in a small apartment. How do you grow things without a backyard?
It's called container gardening. I use pots. I have tomatoes, some basil, and a very small lemon tree. It's amazing how much joy a little bit of green can bring to a room.
Is it hard? I usually kill every plant I buy. I forget to water them for 3 days and they just give up.
It's a learning process. At first, I watered them too much. Now I have a schedule. I check the soil every morning. It's very relaxing. It's my quiet time before the world gets noisy.
I need something like that. My life is all screens. Computer at work, phone on the bus, TV at night. My eyes are always tired. I want to do something with my hands.
What did you like doing when you were a kid? Usually our childhood hobbies are the best clues.
When I was a child, I loved drawing. I used to draw comic books. They weren't very good, but I could draw for hours and never get bored.
Why did you stop?
I don't know. I grew up. I started thinking that if I wasn't great at art, it was a waste of time.
That's the biggest mistake we make as adults. We think we have to be productive, but a hobby is allowed to be messy. It's allowed to be just for fun.
You know, there is one thing I do every day that could be a hobby, but I treat it like a chore: cooking.
Oh, cooking is a wonderful hobby. Some people call it edible art.
Right now, for me, it's just fast fuel. I make pasta because it's quick. I make toast because it's easy. But last Sunday, I tried to make a traditional soup from my grandmother's recipe. It took 3 hours.
3 hours? Did it taste better because you spent so much time on it?
It did. It tasted like memories. I had to go to 3 different stores to find the right spices. I had to chop everything perfectly. I wasn't thinking about my emails or my bills. I was just thinking about the soup.
That is exactly what a hobby should be. It's called a flow state. It's when you are so focused on what you are doing that you forget about time.
I felt that. I looked at the clock and realized it was 8 p.m. I was shocked. But now I'm worried that if I make cooking a hobby, it will become expensive. Fancy pots, expensive ingredients.
It doesn't have to be. You can start with the one ingredient challenge. Pick one vegetable, like a potato, and try to cook it in 10 different ways over a month. It's cheap and it teaches you skills.
The potato challenge. I like that. It sounds like a game.
It is a game. That's the secret. Hobbies turn daily life into a playground.
What about physical hobbies? I see people running in the park every morning. They look so determined, but also a bit miserable.
I'm one of those people. I'm a jogger, and you're right, the first 10 minutes are miserable. Your legs hurt, your lungs burn, and you want to stop.
Then why do you do it?
Because of the minute after the run, the runner's high. Your brain releases all these happy chemicals, and for the rest of the day, I feel strong. I feel like I can handle anything.
I tried running once. I lasted 4 minutes. I decided that my body was not built for speed.
Maybe you need a social hobby, like a walking club or a dance class. When you do a hobby with other people, you don't focus on the pain. You focus on the conversation.
Dancing? Sarah, I have 2 left feet. I would trip over everyone.
Everyone says that. But look at the local community center. They have absolute beginner classes. Nobody there knows what they're doing. You all learn together. You laugh when you make mistakes.
I suppose that's the social part. It's a way to meet people who aren't your coworkers.
Exactly. In our daily routine, we see the same people every day. A hobby introduces you to a new world. I met my best friend at a book club. We both hated the same book, and we've been friends ever since.
Okay, let's talk about the adult problem, time. I work 40 hours a week. I have to clean the house. I have to sleep. Where do I find 40 minutes for a hobby?
You don't find time, Mark. You make time. Think about your evening. How much time do you spend watching TV or scrolling through your phone?
Probably 2 hours a night, maybe more.
If you took just 20 of those minutes to draw, or to practice a language, or to cook a new recipe, that's 140 minutes a week, over 2 hours of hobby time just by cutting out a little bit of phone time.
When you put it that way, it sounds easy. But the phone is so easy. A hobby is active. The phone is passive.
That's true. It takes energy to start. That's why I keep my gardening tools right by the door. I make it easy to start. If your drawing pads are hidden under a pile of books, you won't use them. Put them on the coffee table.
Make it easy to start. I like that. I'm going to put my grandmother's cookbook on the kitchen counter tonight.
Perfect. And don't worry about being good at it. Just enjoy the process. Whether it's a lopsided drawing or a burnt soup, it's your creation.
Thanks, Sarah. I feel like my survival mode is ending and my hobby mode is beginning.
We've talked about hobbies at home, Mark, but what about hobbies that take us away? Do you consider traveling a hobby?
I love traveling, but it feels more like a luxury or a dream than a hobby. When I think of a hobby, I think of something I do every week. I can only afford a big trip once a year.
That's a common way to look at it, but some people make travel a year-round hobby. They spent months researching history, learning a few phrases of a new language, or collecting maps.
I see what you mean. The planning is part of the fun. I do enjoy looking at photos of mountains and old cities. It's like armchair traveling, visiting places without leaving my sofa.
Exactly. And it doesn't always have to be a flight to a different country. Have you ever been a tourist in your own city?
A tourist in my own city? You mean going to the local museum or the historical park down the street?
Yes. We usually ignore the beautiful places near our homes because we see them every day. Last Sunday, I took my camera and walked through the Old Town area like I was a visitor from another country. I noticed so many details, the carvings on the doors, the shape of the windows.
That sounds like a great way to practice photography, too. I've lived here for 5 years, and I've never actually gone inside the clock tower. I always say I'll go next weekend, but I never do.
That's the locals trap. We think those places will always be there, so we don't value them. Traveling as a hobby is about having a discovery mindset wherever you are.
Speaking of traveling, I used to collect something whenever I went somewhere new. Do you remember those small fridge magnets?
Oh, I have a few of those. My fridge is covered in them. Are you a collector, Mark?
I used to be. I collected postcards. I loved the feeling of a physical card with a stamp on it. But now everyone just sends a digital photo through an app. It's not the same.
I agree. Collecting is a very tactile hobby. You like to touch the items. Some people collect vintage records, old coins, or even vintage clothes. It's like being a tiny historian for the things you love.
Is it a dangerous hobby, though? I've seen people whose houses are filled with boxes of things they've collected. It starts with one postcard and suddenly you have 1,000.
That's the risk. You have to find a balance between a hobby and clutter. I collect tea. It's a perfect hobby for me because I get to enjoy the smell, the taste, and then the item is gone. No boxes in the attic.
A consumable hobby. I like that. You enjoy the experience and you don't have to clean it up later.
Exactly. So, Mark, after our long talk today, we've covered gardening, drawing, cooking, running, dancing, traveling, and even collecting. Does your life feel a little less busy and a little more interesting now?
It really does, Sarah. I realize that I have plenty of interests. I just wasn't giving them space to grow. I'm going to go home, look at my grandmother's cookbook, and maybe, just maybe, look for my old drawing pencils.
That makes me so happy to hear. Hobbies are the color in the black and white routine of work. We have reached the end of our session here at Audio Mind Lab. This was a long conversation, but if you listened until the end, your English ears are getting much stronger. Thank you for being part of our community. If this video helped you, please share it with a friend who is also learning English. Choose one hobby we mentioned today and write 3 English words related to it in the comments.